Whew, what would you do if your man tried to steal your whole legacy, child? Girl, listen. It was a quiet evening in Atlanta, Georgia. The wine glass trembled in Gloria's hand. She stared at her phone screen. The message hit at exactly 8:47 p.m., right in the middle of Terrence cutting into his steak. The sender? A number she had not heard from in 3 years. Her big brother Jamal, the same brother who walked out after their parents' funeral, claiming she chose money over family. Get up and go. Don't say nothing to your husband. He married you for your inheritance, and tonight he gon' act. Gloria's heart hammered against her ribs, but she forced her face to stay calm. Across the candlelit table at the Peachtree Steakhouse on Peachtree Street, their favorite Atlanta spot where Terrence proposed 2 years ago, her husband smiled at her with those perfect white teeth, the same smile that charmed her at the charity gala downtown, the same smile that convinced her to say yes after only 6 months. "Everything okay, sweetheart?" Terrence asked, his voice smooth as silk. His dark eyes searched her face. Now, with Jamal's words burning in her mind, she wondered if it was something else entirely. "You look pale," she managed. "Just a work email." She set her phone face down on the white tablecloth. Her fingers felt numb. Nothing urgent. Terrence reached across and covered her hand with his. His touch, which once made her feel safe, now made her skin crawl. "On our anniversary," he said, "tell whoever it is that Mrs. Gloria Richardson is off limits tonight." Mrs. Gloria Richardson. She had been so proud to take his name, to finally have someone who wanted to build a life with her. After losing her parents in that car accident 3 years ago, she had felt so alone. Terrence appeared like a guardian angel, filling the empty spaces in her heart and her life in Buckhead. But Jamal's message suggested it had all been a lie. "You're right," she said, picking up her wine glass with a steady hand. Inside, her thoughts raced like wild horses. Could Jamal be telling the truth? Her brother had always been protective, sometimes to a fault. But he had also accused her of caring more about their parents' money than their memory. The fight had been brutal. She had not spoken to him since. Why would he contact her now? And why tonight? Terrence was talking about their weekend plans at the community center, his voice a comfortable background hum. She nodded and smiled in all the right places, but her mind was elsewhere. 3 years ago, when her parents died, she inherited everything. Richardson Industries, their Atlanta real estate holdings, stocks, bonds, and a trust fund worth millions. Terrence had been so supportive during the legal process, helping her understand the complex paperwork, suggesting lawyers and financial advisors. Had he been planning this from the beginning? "I love watching you think," Terrence said, his thumb stroking across her knuckles. "Your mind is always working. It's one of the things that attracted me to you." Gloria looked at him carefully. Really looked. The expensive suit he claimed was a gift from his mama. The watch, he said, was a family heirloom. The easy confidence of a man who had never wanted for anything. She had been so blinded by grief and loneliness, she never asked the hard questions. "Terrence," she said carefully, "tell me again how your family made their money." He did not miss a beat. "Old railroad money, remember? My great-granddaddy built half the lines between here and Chicago. But you know how it is with old families. Most of it's tied up in trusts and property. I've always had to make my own way." She had heard this story dozens of times, but now it felt rehearsed, polished, like something he practiced in front of the mirror. Her phone buzzed again, another message from Jamal. "He's been planning this for months. Get out now, trust me." Gloria's hands were steady now, her mind clearing. She had built Richardson Industries from a small family business into a major Atlanta corporation. She had not done that by panicking or making rash decisions. If Jamal was right, if Terrence really was after her money, then she needed evidence. She needed to be smart. Excuse me, she said, standing gracefully. I need to powder my nose. Terrence started to stand, but she waved him down. Finish your steak. I'll be right back. In the ladies' room at the Peachtree Steakhouse, she called Jamal with shaking fingers. Gloria, his voice was tight with worry. Is this real? She whispered. I've been tracking him for weeks. He's done this before. There was a woman in Portland 2 years ago, another in Denver, both wealthy widows, both lost everything. The world tilted. She gripped the marble counter. How do you know all this? Because I hired a private investigator 6 months ago. I was worried about you, and I was right to be. Gloria, he's going to drug you tonight. The plan is to get you to sign papers while you ain't thinking clearly. By tomorrow morning, he'll have access to everything. Gloria stared at her reflection in the mirror. Her beautiful dark skin looked ashen, her usually bright eyes wide with shock. But underneath the fear, something else was building, something hot and fierce.
What do I do?
Leave right now. Don't go back to the table. Don't go home. Come to my apartment. We'll figure this out together. She closed her eyes. 3 years of marriage. 3 years of thinking she had found her partner, her equal, her future. 3 years of lies. Gloria, you there? I'm here. Her voice was stronger now. Send me your address. Y'all seeing this mess? What would you do if your own brother dropped a bomb like that on your anniversary dinner? Drop A if you teen Gloria already. When she walked back to the table, Terrence was on his phone. He hung up quick when he saw her. Work call, he said apologetically. Sorry, baby. Where were we? Actually, Gloria said, picking up her purse, I'm not feeling well. I think I might be coming down with something. Concern flooded his face. Perfect, loving concern. Oh no. Do you want to go home? I can take care of you. No, you stay and finish your dinner. I'll just catch an Uber home and get some rest. Are you sure? I don't mind. I'm sure. She leaned down and kissed his cheek, the same cheek she kissed goodbye that morning when she thought her biggest worry was what dress to wear. I love you. The words tasted like poison. I love you too, sweetheart. Feel better. I'll be home soon. Gloria walked out of the Peachtree Steakhouse with her head high and her shoulders straight. Behind her, she left her anniversary dinner, her wine glass still half full, and her marriage to a man she was beginning to realize she had never really known at all. The cool Atlanta night air hit her face as she stood on the sidewalk, phone in hand, ordering a car that would take her away from the life she thought she knew and toward a truth she wasn't sure she was ready to face. But ready or not, she was going to face it. The text from Jamal had changed everything, and there was no going back. The Uber driver kept glancing at her in the rearview mirror, probably wondering why a woman in an expensive dress was crying silently in the back seat at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night. Gloria did not care. The tears were not from sadness. They were from rage so pure it felt like acid in her veins. Jamal's apartment was in a part of Atlanta she rarely visited, 20 minutes from the restaurant, but a world away from her usual Buckhead life. As the car wound through narrow streets lined with converted warehouses and art studios, she thought about all the signs she had missed. The way Terrence always seemed to know exactly what to say when she was overwhelmed by business decisions at Richardson Industries. How he encouraged her to simplify her financial arrangements, to consolidate accounts, to trust him with more and more responsibilities. The subtle way he isolated her from old friends, claiming they were jealous of her success or did not understand their love. Her phone buzzed with a text from Terrence. Hope you're feeling better, baby. Taking care of the check now. See you at home. Love you. The casual normalcy of it made her stomach turn. This is it, the driver said, pulling up to a brick building with large windows and a heavy wooden door. Thank you, she managed, tipping him in cash. Jamal was waiting for her in the lobby. 3 years had changed him. He looked older, more serious, new lines around his eyes and gray threading through his hair at the temples. But when he saw her, his face crumpled with relief and something that looked like shame. Gloria. He wrapped her in a hug that smelled like coffee and old books. For a moment, she was 16 again, and he was 21, telling her everything would be okay after their parents missed another school play because of work. "I'm sorry," he whispered into her hair. "I'm so sorry I waited this long. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you needed me." She pulled back and looked at him. "Tell me everything. All of it." His apartment was exactly what she expected. Books everywhere. A computer setup that looked like mission control. And the kind of organized chaos that meant a brilliant mind at work. He made coffee while she sat on his couch, still in her anniversary dress, still trying to process that her entire life had just collapsed. "Start from the beginning," she said when he handed her a mug. Jamal sat across from her, his own coffee untouched. "6 months ago, I got a call from Mama and Daddy's old lawyer, Roland Banks. He was retiring and wanted to make sure all the estate paperwork was in order. When he started going through the files, he noticed some irregularities." "What kind of irregularities?" "Documents that had been amended after the original will was filed. Signatures that looked questionable. He was concerned enough to call me instead of you, because he remembered our parents mentioning that I had power of attorney for some medical decisions." Gloria's hands tightened around the mug. "Terrence helped me with all that paperwork. He said his family lawyer could handle everything more efficiently. That family lawyer does not exist, Gloria. The man you met was Terrence's partner in this. They've been running this scam for at least 4 years, maybe longer." The coffee turned bitter in her mouth. "You said there were other women." Jamal nodded grimly. "Patrice Collins in Portland, divorced, inherited her ex-husband's tech company. She met Terrence at a business conference 2 years ago. They were married within 8 months. By the time she realized what was happening, he had transferred most of her assets into accounts she could not access." "What happened to her?" "She tried to fight it, but the documentation was so good, the courts ruled in his favor. She lost everything. Last I heard, she was working as a manager at a small marketing firm trying to rebuild." Gloria set her coffee cup down with shaking hands. "And the woman in Denver, Simone Miller, widow, inherited a chain of successful restaurants from her late husband. Same pattern. Whirlwind romance, quick marriage, then a systematic draining of her assets. She did not even try to fight it legally. She just disappeared." "How did you find all this out?" Jamal leaned forward, his hands clasped tight. "After Roland called me, I hired a private investigator, Kendra Thompson. She's the best in Atlanta. It took her 3 months to trace Terrence's real history. His name is not even Terrence Richardson. It's Tommy Ricci, and he's originally from Newark." The name hit her like a physical blow. Tommy Ricci, not the sophisticated businessman from old railroad money, not the charming prince who swept her off her feet. A con man from New Jersey with a fake identity and a talent for destroying lives. "Gloria, there's more." She was not sure she could handle more, but she nodded. "The plan was supposed to happen tonight. Kendra has been monitoring his communications. She's very good at what she does. He was going to slip something into your wine at dinner. Nothing dangerous, just something to make you confused and compliant. Then he was going to take you to his lawyer's office, the fake one, and have you sign papers transferring power of attorney and access to your accounts. But I left before he could do that, thank God. But Gloria, this is not over. When he realizes his timeline is blown, he's going to move fast. We need to get to Roland's office tonight and start protecting your assets." She looked at the clock on his wall, 10:15 p.m. "My lawyer won't meet us at this hour." "He will if you tell him what's at stake. Gloria, by tomorrow morning, Terrence will have moved to Plan B. And Plan B probably involves forged documents and electronic transfers that will be much harder to trace and reverse. The reality of it hit her like a freight train. She was not just dealing with a cheating husband or even a gold digger. She was dealing with a professional criminal who had spent 2 years studying her, learning her habits, her weaknesses, her trust patterns. He had played a long game, and she had been the perfect mark. "Call your lawyer," Jamal said gently, "right now." With trembling fingers, she scrolled through her contacts until she found Roland Banks' number. He had been her family's attorney for 15 years, had helped her parents build their Atlanta empire, and guided her through the complex inheritance after their death. "Gloria," his voice was alert despite the late hour. "Roland, I need you to meet me at your office tonight. It's about Terrence and my estate, and it cannot wait until morning." There was a pause. Roland Banks was not a man easily ruffled, but she could hear the concern in his voice. "What's happened?" "I think my husband has been systematically planning to steal my inheritance, and I think he was going to make his move tonight." Another pause, longer this time. "I'll meet you at the office in 30 minutes. Bring any documents you have. And Gloria, do not go home. Do not contact Terrence. Do not do anything until we've talked." After she hung up, Jamal was already moving, grabbing a jacket and car keys. "I'm driving you," he said, "and I'm staying with you through all of this. I failed you once when you needed family. I will not do it again." As they rode the elevator down to the parking garage, a mirror caught her reflection in the polished doors. The woman looking back was still wearing the black dress she chose so carefully for her anniversary dinner, still wearing the diamond earrings Terrence gave her for their first anniversary, earrings she now realized had probably been paid for with her own money. But there was something different in her eyes. The naive, trusting woman who walked into the Peachtree Steakhouse 3 hours ago was gone. In her place was someone harder, sharper, angrier, someone who was ready to fight. "Jamal," she said as they walked toward his car, "thank you for not giving up on me." "Even when I gave up on us," he squeezed her hand. "That's what family does, Gloria. We protect each other." As they drove through the empty Atlanta streets toward Roland Banks' office, Gloria's phone buzzed with another text from Terrence. "Getting worried about you, baby. You're not answering my calls. Coming home now to check on you." She turned off her phone and stared out at the city lights. Let him come home to an empty house. Let him wonder where she was and what she knew. The game had changed, and Terrence Richardson, or Tommy Ricci, or whoever he really was about to learn that Gloria Richardson was not Patrice Collins or Simone Miller. She was not going to disappear quietly into the night. Girl, listen. Roland Banks' law office sat on 3 floors of a downtown Atlanta high-rise. At almost 11 p.m., only the security lights glowed in the lobby. The night guard recognized Gloria and buzzed them straight up. "I've pulled all your files," Roland said the second they walked in. He was a small, sharp man in his 60s with silver hair. Tonight, he looked tired but ready. "Gloria, what you told me on the phone, if it's true, this is worse than I thought." Jamal made quick introductions while Gloria stared at the long conference table covered with folders, printouts, and every legal paper that held her whole life. "How bad is it?" she asked. Roland's face went grim. "Bad, but not impossible if we move fast." He pulled out a chair for her. "Sit, both of you. What I'm about to show you is gonna hurt." First paper, her marriage certificate. "This signature," he pointed, "does not match any other document Terrence signed for you." He laid down the power of attorney form she remembered signing a year ago. Same name, completely different handwriting, means either your husband has two signatures or somebody else has been signing his name. Gloria's stomach dropped. Somebody else. Most likely the man he called his family lawyer, the one who helped you simplify everything. Roland spread more papers. Every change to her parents' will, every new account, every amendment. All of them gave Terrence more and more control. Jamal leaned in. Show her the bank records. Roland nodded and laid out the statements. Over the last 18 months, small transfers, 5,000 here, 10,000 there, nothing big enough to ring alarms. Gloria studied them. Her business brain kicked in even though her heart was breaking. These companies, I don't know any of them. Richardson Holdings, LLC, Richardson Development Corporation. All sound real, but they exist only on paper, all controlled by Terrence. How much? She asked quietly. Roland and Jamal looked at each other. How much? She repeated, voice stronger. So far, $2.7 million. The number hit her like a punch. 2.7 million. Money her parents worked their whole lives for. Money meant to secure her future in Atlanta. But that's just the start, Roland continued. If he had succeeded tonight, if he got you to sign while you were drugged, he would have taken everything. The business, the real estate, the trusts, over $50 million. 50 million. Her entire inheritance. Everything her parents built and died protecting. There's more, Jamal said softly. Show her the other women. Roland opened another folder. Photos. Records. Patrice Collins, Portland. Same story. Married in 8 months. Lost her whole tech company. Court said everything was legal because she signed. He placed Simone Miller's picture next. Denver. Same pattern. She lost everything and just disappeared. Gloria stared at the smiling faces. They looked happy, successful, just like her wedding photos. How many others? She asked. We don't know yet, Roland admitted. Kendra is still digging, but you were not going to be the last. The full weight sank in. Terrence was not a gold digger. He was a professional predator. He studied women, married them, then destroyed them. What's our next move? Gloria asked. Roland reached for his phone. First, we freeze everything, every account, every asset, right now. Terrence gets nothing more. Can we do that legally? Roland gave a grim smile. You're about to see why your daddy kept me on retainer for 15 years. He looked at Jamal. Your investigator been watching his calls? Kendra has everything. Good. We're going to need her, because once he finds out, he will run. While Roland called judges and bank executives in the middle of the night, Gloria stared at the photos of Patrice and Simone again. These women had believed in love. They paid with everything they had. Gloria, Jamal said softly, has he ever hit you, threatened you, made you scared for your life? No, never. He was always gentle. Jamal nodded. Good, because when this goes public, his lawyers will try to paint you as the crazy wife who drove him to it. Roland hung up the phone. As of 15 minutes ago, every account is frozen, every credit card canceled, every transfer stopped, pending full investigation. Gloria's phone started buzzing. Terrence's name flashed. Don't answer, Roland warned. It rang 4 more times, then stopped. A text came through. Baby, something's wrong with our accounts. The bank says they're frozen. Where are you? I'm scared. Call me. Another text right after. Am I in trouble? Are you okay? I'm coming to look for you. He's already playing the worried husband, Jamal said. Roland smiled like the shark lawyer he was. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. By 3 a.m., the conference room looked like a war room. Empty coffee cups everywhere. Kendra Thompson, the private investigator, had just walked in with her laptop. "He's not working alone," Kendra said. "There's a whole team." She showed pictures. The fake lawyer is really Craig Stevens, disbarred from Nevada. The financial advisor is Angela Torres, wanted in 3 states. Kendra leaned forward. "I've traced at least 6 other victims besides Patrice and Simone. All wealthy black women, all cleaned out." Gloria's voice was a whisper. 6 others? At least. Probably more. Roland looked up from the chart he had been studying. "Here's the plan. We let Terrence think his scam is still working." Jamal almost jumped out of his chair. "You want her to talk to him?" "Exactly," Roland said. "We give him enough rope to hang himself. Gloria, you're going to call him. Tell him you found the transfers and you're hurt, but you still love him and you're willing to fix it if he explains." Gloria felt her stomach turn, but she thought about Patrice working at that little marketing job. She thought about Simone, who just vanished. She thought about the 6 other sisters they didn't even know yet. "I'll do it," she said quietly. "But I need protection." Roland slid papers across the table. "I'm filing emergency orders right now. You get sole control of every Richardson asset, plus a restraining order on every joint account." Kendra nodded. "And you'll wear a recording device every time you're near him. We'll tap the phone legally. I'll be right behind you the whole time." By 4 a.m., everything was set. Gloria would go home at sunrise, act surprised, confront him softly about the money, but give him a chance to lie his way back in. Every word, every call, every move he made, they would record it all. "Remember," Roland said as they left the office, "he studied you for 2 years, but now you know exactly who he is." Jamal drove her home as the Atlanta sky turned pink. Her big Buckhead house looked different now. The manicured lawn, the luxury cars, the security system she paid for. All of it felt like a movie set hiding something rotten. "You don't have to do this," Jamal said outside the door. "Yes, I do," Gloria answered, voice steady. "He picked me because he thought I was weak. It's time to show him how wrong he was." She could see Terrence's shadow pacing behind the living room curtains. Her phone had been blowing up with messages, each one more desperate. "Baby, please come home. I can explain. The police are asking questions. I love you." Gloria took a deep breath, straightened her shoulders, and walked up the steps to her own house. "Girl, listen." Thomas yanked the door open before Gloria could even reach for her key. His hair was messy, his perfect suit wrinkled, eyes red and desperate. "Gloria!" He pulled her into his arms so fast she couldn't pull away. "Thank God. I've been losing my mind. Where have you been? Why won't you answer your phone?" She let him hold her for 1 second, feeling that familiar cologne, then stepped back. "I know about the money, Terrence." His face went stone still. "What money?" "The transfers, the shell companies, the accounts I never knew about." She kept her voice soft, hurt, not angry. "I got a call from the bank. When I looked, everything started making sense." Terrence's face ran through emotions fast. Surprise, concern, then smooth relief. "Oh, sweetheart," he said, grabbing her hands. "Is that what this is about? The business restructuring? Baby, I was going to surprise you next week with the reports. Those transfers were just moving money to better investments." The lies slipped out so easy, so perfect. For a split second, Gloria almost believed him. That's why he was so dangerous. "Higher yield investments?" she repeated. Yes, baby. Sit down. Let me show you the numbers. He already had his laptop open. Charts, projections, everything looked real. You're going to be so proud. We're doubling everything in 2 years. Gloria sat beside him on the couch. I'm sorry I panicked. I even called Jamal. I was so scared I thought you were stealing from me. Terrence's body went tight. You talked to Jamal? Just for a second. I hung up when I realized how crazy I sounded. He relaxed. Good, because none of this is what it looks like. The recording device Kendra gave her caught every single word, every lie. So what happens now? She asked. Now we sleep, he said, closing the laptop. Monday the accounts unlock and I'll take you to meet Angela. You can ask anything. Monday, 3 days. Gloria smiled. That sounds perfect. I love you, Terrence. I trust you. He kissed her forehead. I love you more than you'll ever know. But in his eyes, for one flash, she saw something cold, calculating. Sunday morning came gray and rainy. Gloria sat at the kitchen table watching Terrence flip pancakes like nothing happened. Kendra's voice whispered in her earpiece. He made 7 calls already, all burner phones. They're rushing the plan. You quiet this morning, Terrence said. Still worried? A little. I called the bank. They said if we both go in tomorrow and sign, everything unlocks fast. Terrence's fork stopped midair. Both of us? Yes, they need both signatures now. He smiled quick. Perfect. We'll go together, then lunch after. Terrence, before we met, you ever been married before? The question hung heavy. No, he said smooth. Came close once. Didn't work out. I was just thinking. You always know exactly what to say. It's like you studied me. She laughed soft. Learned that from another woman? He took her hand. I understand you because I love you. That's all. The words were perfect, but Gloria thought about Patrice, about Simone, about the 6 other sisters. After breakfast, he said he had errands. The second his car left the driveway, Kendra spoke again. He's meeting his partners right now. My team is following. You ready for phase 2? Gloria opened her laptop. Ready. Phase 2 was simple and deadly. While Terrence thought he still had control, Gloria started calling his victims. First call, Patrice Collins. Patrice, this is Gloria Richardson in Atlanta. Kendra gave me your number. Long pause, then crying. I know his real name is Tommy Ricci. I know everything, and I have proof. Patrice sobbed. Nobody believed me. They said I was crazy. I believe you, and I need you here tomorrow. We're taking him down together. Patrice agreed to fly in. Next, Simone Miller. Harder, but when Gloria said, "We have recordings now," Simone's voice changed. You really think we can win? I know we can, but I need you. By the time Terrence came home that afternoon carrying flowers, Gloria had spoken to 5 victims. 3 said yes. They're beautiful, she said, taking the white roses. Productive day, he answered. Angela's ready. Tomorrow after the bank, we start the final transfers. That night at dinner, he cooked again. Perfect meal, perfect stories, perfect laughs. But every smile now felt like a knife. Gloria, he said while washing dishes, you should never trust anyone completely with money. Not even me. For 1 second, she wondered if he felt guilty. Then he smiled, and the moment was gone. Later in bed, Gloria lay awake, listening to him sleep peaceful. Tomorrow he would walk into that bank thinking he won. Tomorrow the trap would snap shut. Girl, listen. Monday morning, clear blue Atlanta sky. Gloria dressed in her sharp navy business suit, the one that screamed, "I run this city." Terrence was downstairs already in his best suit, wearing the gold watch she bought him with her own stolen money. "Big day," he said, handing her coffee. "Nervous?" "A little." "Hey, we in this together. Everything I do is for us." The lies sounded so real. In the car, Kendra whispered through the earpiece. Patrice landed. "Simone on the way. We ready." At the bank, Mr. Peterson waited in his office. "Mrs. Richardson, glad we can fix this quick." He slid the papers over, both signatures to lift the freeze. "And Mrs. Richardson, you must say out loud that you are doing this voluntarily." Gloria signed steady. "I am lifting the restrictions voluntarily." Terrence signed fast, knee bouncing with excitement. "Accounts active by 3 p.m. this afternoon," the manager said. Outside the bank, Terrence was buzzing. "I'm calling Angela right now. We move the money today." Gloria smiled sweet. "Actually, can we spend the day together? Drive to the lake house?" His face flickered with anger for half a second, then back to charm. "Business first, baby, but dinner tonight, somewhere special. We celebrate." He dropped her off and sped away. The second his car turned the corner, Gloria was on the phone. "He's moving fast. Wants to start transfers this afternoon." Kendra answered. "We ready. Robert filed the injunction. We just need him to hit send on that money." At 3:47 p.m., the text came. "He's at the bank with Craig Stevens. First transfer, $2 million to Cayman Islands. Second transfer in progress." At 3:58, injunction filed, freezing everything now. At 4:01, police moving in. Gloria's hands shook. Then her phone rang. Terrence. His voice was ice cold. "We need to talk."
"Where are you?"
"I'm home. I'm coming. And Gloria, I know what you did." Kendra's voice. "He got away from the bank, but we got Craig. He's heading to you. You ready?" Gloria stood at the window. "I'm ready." Terrence's car screeched into the driveway at 4:23. He sat there talking fast on the phone, then stormed in. "Hello, Tommy," Gloria said quietly. He froze, mask gone, pure rage. "So you know." "I know everything. Your real name, Portland, Denver, Patrice, Simone, Craig, Angela. All of it." He walked in like he still owned the house. "How long?" "Since Saturday night. Jamal warned me right before you tried to drug me at dinner." Terrence laughed cold. "Should have known that brother would ruin it." "Why me?" Gloria asked. "You were perfect. Young, rich, orphaned, lonely, no family around. Easy mark." He leaned forward. "I did love you. In my way. You were the easiest I ever worked." The word mark hit like a slap. "How much did you get before we stopped you?" "4 million. Not bad for one afternoon." Gloria smiled. "You made one mistake, Tommy. You thought I was like Patrice and Simone. You thought I would break and disappear." She stood up. "While you moved 4 million this afternoon, I was destroying your whole operation. Craig is in custody. Angela is being hunted by Interpol. Every bank has your real face and a federal warrant. Patrice, Simone, and 3 more victims are at my lawyer's office right now giving statements." Terrence's face went gray. "You bitch." "Oh, we just getting started. The police are 2 minutes away." Sirens screamed closer. Terrence ran for the back door. Gloria watched from the kitchen window as Atlanta PD tackled him in the yard. Kendra burst through the front door. "You okay?" Gloria smiled big. "I'm perfect." Girl, listen. This the finale. Within 1 hour, the house was full. Police taking statements. FBI asking questions. Roland Banks, planning. Jamal holding her hand like when they were kids. The arraignment is tomorrow, Roland said. Tommy Ricci, or Terrence, facing wire fraud, identity theft, racketeering. With all the victims testifying, he looking at 20 to 30 years. The money? FBI already froze the Cayman accounts, most of it coming back. Patrice Collins walked in with tears. I can't believe it's really over. Gloria hugged her. Now we rebuild, all of us. Simone came that night. 2 more victims, too. They sat in the living room sharing stories, crying, laughing, planning. We starting the Richardson Foundation, Gloria told them, named after Mama and Daddy, not after him. We gonna teach women how to spot these predators, give them lawyers, give them sisters who understand. 6 months later, the trial was a circus, media everywhere. Terrence's lawyer tried to paint Gloria as the crazy rich wife, but when the jury heard the recording, his cold voice saying, she was the easiest mark I ever worked, the whole courtroom went silent. Guilty, on all 27 counts. Judge gave him 28 years, no parole. Outside on the courthouse steps, Gloria faced the cameras. If someone stole from you, if someone lied to you, you are not weak. You are not stupid. You are a survivor, and you deserve justice. 1 year later, the Richardson Foundation had offices in 12 cities, helped 247 women get back over $18 million. Gloria stood in the new headquarters looking at all the sisters who became family. Patrice now ran development. Simone ran victim services. Her phone buzzed. Another woman. My boyfriend acting strange with my accounts. Gloria smiled and typed back. You not alone. Call our hotline. We got you, sis. Jamal walked in with coffee. Proud of you. Gloria looked out at Atlanta lights. I lost a husband, but I gained a whole army of queens. And that's the real revenge. Y'all, this story showed us when a Black woman in Atlanta finds out the truth, she don't just cry. She builds, she fights, she wins. Period. Drop it if Gloria is your hero. Comment survivor if you standing with every queen who took her power back. Smash that like button and subscribe because we got more revenge stories coming for y'all. On God. Whoo, child. We made it to the end. Thank you for riding with me through all 5 parts.